So, you're an artist, and you love animation. You grew up watching cartoons and are amazed by the infinite possibilities the medium can provide. And one day, you come up with your own show. You design characters, write down story ideas, maybe make a few comics and animated short clips, and yet you've never made the leap into making an actual animated episode out of it. If that's the case for you, then let me talk to you about making your own animated pilot. So for a bit of context, I'm Daniel and I'm making my own animated pilot right now. It's called Lumion Lands and it's about two best friends going on treasure hunting adventures. Right now production is halfway finished and I'm trying to release the entire thing later this year. So you could say... But honestly, something I think about a lot is how so many aspiring artists make these incredible concepts of their dream shows, but think they cannot actually make an animated pilot out of it. Just go indie. This phrase gets tossed around a lot nowadays, especially since animated productions get cancelled left and right and the overall state of the animation industry seems... improvable. Though the problem of saying, yeah, just don't rely on a studio, just make that animated pilot yourself kind of underestimates how much money and work actually goes into an animated production. Chances are you don't have a large studio behind you and are mostly either a small team or completely by your own, just like me. So you're probably wondering, with all that hard work and dedication that goes into an animated pilot, is it even possible to achieve this on your own? Actually, yes. And here's why. Of course, there's always examples of indie productions with bigger budgets like Has-Been Hotel to show what's possible, but it's often overlooked what can be achieved with a smaller budget and a smaller team. Bob's World by Wisdom Nunn, The Rhino and the Red Bill by Alex Henderson, literally any animated student film in the past years. I personally believe that with the right approach, anyone can do it. Even you. So, quick disclaimer here. I personally have no industry experience, so take it all with a grain of salt. Also, these are tools and not rules. Take whatever advice helps you, throw out what doesn't. And hopefully what worked for me will work for you too. First of all, it's important to know your strengths. When it comes to bigger projects, it is important to first figure out which parts of production you're best at and which ones aren't your cup of tea. In my case, I'm pretty fast at drawing compelling backgrounds and generally coming up with pretty lighting and color schemes for my environments and characters. On the other hand, however, it takes me a lot of time to animate characters fluently and consistently. Make a short list with your strengths and weaknesses and I'll show you why this matters in a moment. Story and writing is also pretty important. Of course you want to make sure that your story is compelling, that your characters are nicely designed and the way you want them to look, and that a script for your episode is finished. Make sure that the story is decent, because no amount of good animation can fix a bad story. I'd also recommend a plot that is mostly self-contained, so your pilot episode can have a satisfying conclusion for the moment and doesn't depend on future episodes developing the story further. And if you finished all that, it's time for your animatic. For those of you who don't know, the animatic is basically a rough version of your pilot consisting of rough sketches. Now you want to take that list you made earlier and cater as much of your strengths as possible. So for me this basically meant introducing a lot of locations and having the camera fling and flail around the area to hide as many complex movements as possible so I could show my pretty backgrounds and wouldn't have to do so much character animation. Also what I did is I kept all animation on 3s, which means animating only every third frame on a frame rate of 24 FPS, so I wouldn't spend too much time on drawing many in-betweens. And for the line art I used a very thin brush, so I wouldn't have to worry about inconsistencies in my line quality. Here's another example. Let's say you're someone who makes really impressive 2D puppet animations, but doesn't like drawing too many backgrounds. In that case, you can try keeping the camera in one angle, while occasionally zooming in and out of the action, and focus on strong character performances and expressions that are easily achievable in the way you animate. By catering to your specific strengths, the work you'll have to do will be so much easier and more fun for you to do. And after that, you're in for the long run. The only thing you need to do from here is keep working till you're done. although this is admittedly still a lot of work. So here's a few things to keep in mind. Work on it on a regular basis. Even finishing just a few seconds of animation each week can add up really quickly. Maybe set up a realistic time frame for reaching certain milestones. And also, give yourself a pat on the back once you reach those. Animation is hard, you deserve it. Start in the middle. This may sound weird at first, but obviously you'll get better the more you work on your project. The beginning and the ending of your pilot should be the things you do last, because those are the most impactful moments that will stick out to the viewers the most. And lastly, it's okay to fail. Even if you can't finish your animation and just give up because it's too ambitious, or feel like your story isn't worth telling anymore, you always have something to gain in the end. The animatic you made, the scenes of clean animation you finish, or the backgrounds you've painted, you can still show these to other people, make a trailer or a proof of concept out of it, or just put it into your artist portfolio. And even if you're not satisfied with it, you gained experience and you can always try again. That said, make your pilot. Thanks for sticking around till the end of the video. If any of this helped you, I'd appreciate if you click the like button, so this video can rank higher in the algorithm, which leads to more people seeing it and helping them starting their animation journey, as well as me, so it's a win-win for everybody. And while you're at it, tell me in the comments which animation project you're working on, so I can keep track of it and watch it when it comes out. Other than that, thank you so much for watching and goodbye.